Hi, I believe that I'm now on to the fifth part of my top 100 favorite characters list. I have a lot of characters to go over. In 53rd place is another character from Code Geass, Colin Stotfeld. She's amazing, cool character, lots of great emotional stuff that's done with Colin. Colin is pretty incredible in the first season of Code Geass. I think doesn't get enough to do in the second season. That holds her back a little bit, but she's 53rd on my list of characters from everything I've ever seen, so that's still pretty amazing and shows how cool Colin is despite that, so it's pretty great. In 52nd place is Iona from Arpeggio of Blue Steel, a character that first could seem emotionless but goes through a great journey and is a very compelling character, very emotionally, powerfully moving character, even if she seems like the most emotionless character in my list. Fantastic interactions with Captain Gunzo, great stuff. 51st place is Hutaro from Non Bayori. Non Bayori is a very relaxing, pleasant, adorable show, and Hutaro is a delight of a character to watch. Very lovable, great to have around. In 50th place is Cindy Lou Who from The Grinch, who really feels like the heart of the story. Absolutely amazing in the 2000 film, just a lovable, adorable character. In the newer film, the cartoon film, one of the most wholesome characters out there, dedicated to helping her mom. Just absolutely wonderful character. 49th place is Hermione Granger from Harry Potter, and she's the character that makes me a fan of Harry Potter. I thought that Harry Potter wouldn't be something that I would get into. I was watching the first Harry Potter film. It seemed okay, but it didn't seem like something I'd become a fan of. Then Hermione showed up, my interest rose up, and I became a Harry Potter fan. But because of Hermione, amazing character, love her personality. She's fantastic. After seeing the first Harry Potter film, she became my favorite character, and she has continued to remain my favorite character from the franchise. Amazing character. 48th place is Candace from Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb is a very funny show that I think a lot of the charm doesn't actually come from the title characters, even though they're fun and likable. It comes from Candace, who I think often feels like the true star of the show, the most compelling, interesting character. A character that could seem somewhat antagonistic, but deep down she seems like a good, caring sister. Lovable character, very sympathetic character. Great stuff from her. In 47th place is Mayon from Tamaraya. Tamaraya is an anime and is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. I think is the most underrated show that I've ever seen. I think it deserves so much more attention, so much more love. And I love Mayon's character. Very lovable character. One of those characters it's hard for me not to root for her and want everything to go well for her. Great, shy, sweet character I adore. In 46th place is my favorite Marvel character. So I believe my top 45, not Marvel characters. 46th place is Professor X from X Men. I love Professor X's worldview of wanting uh, everybody to get along, wanting to have a more peaceful world instead of focusing on characters competing against each other. And I think he's one of the most inspiring characters. I think he's the true heart of Marvel overall and is the most inspirational, moving character from Marvel. I love Patrick Stewart as Professor X so much. And speaking of Patrick Stewart playing an inspiring mentor character, in 45th place is Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek. Excited to put the two big Patrick Stewart mentor characters together. I love them about equally. Captain Picard feels like the heart of Star Trek, and he's the reason why I like Star Trek. When I saw some of the stuff with Kirk, I thought, well, Star Trek is okay. I don't mind it. I like Spock, but doesn't really seem like something that interests me that much. I'm not that attached to Captain Kirk as a character. But then I saw Picard, and I realized I became a fan of it. Star Trek: The Next Generation's a really good show, and Star Trek Picard is a underrated, brilliant, emotionally moving show. I think deserves so much more attention and love. In 44th place is He-Man from Masters of the Universe. I love He-Man, and putting this low, it seems, oh, could seem too low, but there's so many characters I love so much. He-Man, very cool character, one of the best characters to have an action figure of, one of the most upbeat, cool heroes. Love He-Man. Great character. In 43rd place is Lex Luthor from Superman, one of the greatest villains of all time, a very fascinating character, villain that's able to be Superman's best villain, often without superpowers, and I love that. It makes things a lot more interesting, and he helps make the Superman franchise overall a lot more interesting than otherwise would have been. I feel like Lex Luthor is one of the two big characters in the Superman franchise, along with Superman himself, that definitely needs to be there for things to work. In 42nd place and 41st place, two characters that go together, two characters that are pretty much equally entertaining, and two characters that I love seeing multiple versions of, the Riddler and the Penguin from Batman. Two Batman villains that are consistently fantastic and great in so many different versions of Batman. Love them both so much. Hilarious, entertaining characters, brilliant characters that often feel like Batman's smartest enemies. There's so much great stuff with them. Love them so much. So much fun. In 40th place, I think I am the only person in history to put this character on top 100 favorite characters list. You can let me know if you actually know somebody who would put this character in the top 100. Not just somebody that likes this character, but enough to be in the top 100, in the top 50. In 40th place is Amber Fuji from Pokemon. You could be wondering who Amber Fuji is, even if you are a big Pokemon fan. In Pokemon the first movie, there were some scenes that were cut out, revealing that Mewtwo did have a close friendship with a little girl who is a clone, and Amber lost her life, and that led to her father trying to make a clone of her, and things got really complicated. And Pokemon the first movie, if we're counting the scenes that got cut out, I believe it's the only film in history that's ever made me cry. There are certainly films that have made me feel sad, have pulled on my heartstrings, that have gotten close to making me cry, but oddly enough, the tragic backstory from Pokemon the first movie, that's, I believe, the only stuff in film history to ever make me cry. And so Amber, a character that I believe had 5 minutes of screen time, was able to bring that out of me. I feel like she not only deserved to be on this list, but deserved a high placement, despite feeling like a throwaway character that was so throwaway that she was cut out of a lot of versions of the film. But her death broke me down so hard and emotionally that she made that big of an impact. She had to make this list. I'm allowed to put who I want, even if I'm putting Amber Fuji from Pokemon the first movie in some versions of that film, because a lot of versions don't even have her scene. So there's probably a lot of Pokemon fans watching who don't even know who Amber is. But she made my top 40. I know my list could seem ridiculous, but these are my true feelings. This is how I really feel, and I did really tear up hard, so that's how I feel.